live on EA Sports. I'm Ed Cohen. Great to be joined by the pride of Plainfield, New Jersey. He was born to run the fast break. It's Jay Williams.
Dishing the ball left, dishing the ball right, making the right play at the right time, because that's what guards from Plainfield, New Jersey do. Let's see what they do on the court this evening.
It's time to hoop it up. We are ready to go. The Utah Jazz begin the game with the basketball. Conley, bad pass there. Clippers have it. Jay, upon scanning this Clippers roster, there are a lot of guards for Doc Rivers to work with.
Yeah, they have a plethora of guards, and if I'm this team and if I'm Doc Rivers, I'm thinking about how do I throw as many guards at you as possible, because Doc wants to get another guard in there to apply the same pressure. They should be the new modern-day Detroit Pistons with the style they play defensively.
Kennard to Reggie Jackson. From the painted area, won't go down. Conley into the front court. He'll run the offense. And a nice finish at the rim.
That's what I'm talking about, Ed. It's that simple. Put the ball in the bucket.
George to Nick Batum. Screen coming. Rudy Gobert. Huge block. Nikola Batum missed his first. That one goes.
The pro game has really come down to PNRs. Let's see how the defense adjusts.
To Gobert. Can't connect from inside.
What happened is he didn't balance himself off the defender. He didn't initiate contact. He allowed the contact to initiate him. We could break that down later in the broadcast, but that's why he missed that easy chipping.
To Jackson. Gets it in the left corner. Jumper's good.
I 100% guarantee you that was not the play call, but a bucket is a bucket.
Donovan Mitchell with the rock. Second effort. And draws the contact. So, Rudy Gobert going to the line for 2 shots.
Trust me, you want to avoid early foul trouble. Take that one as a warning.
Rudy Gobert has got 2 shots coming. Not the best career mark, 62%. First one goes down. No good on the second. It's a 1-of-2 trip. Jackson with it. Down a point. To Luke Kennard. And scores. Strong take.
Man, that may not have been a gimme, but that layup at the rim definitely chips away at the pride of the defense.
It's Jazz ball. Here comes the screen. Conley, tough matchup against George. Too much contact, and free throws coming.
It's still early, so no real impact on that call. But you know that they're going to call this one tight, so you might want to keep your hands out of his pocket.
Mike Conley at the line for 2 shots. A career 81% free throw shooter. Knocks down the first. Goes 2 for 2 at the line. LA Clippers with the basketball. Jackson to Paul George. Probing the defense. trying to create. The shot, almost. Jay, we talk about it all the time. The coaches in this league, who best puts their players in a position to shine? And now I give you Quinn Snyder.
I remember Quinn Snyder, after an ugly loss to Atlanta last year, really made some changes to their system. And here's the thing I love about Quinn Snyder. He recruited me when I was 15 and 16 years old. He was an assistant coach at Duke. The way he spoke to me really got me to buy in. He taught me that it was about being part of something bigger than yourself. And when you buy into what Quinn Snyder preaches, that's how you end up beating OKC in the first round NBA playoffs.
Down low for Gobert. It's a big finish.
I mean, with so much talk these days about three-point shooting and the spacing on the court and having versatile athletic wings, sometimes when you have a dominant big man, you keep giving him the ball. You let him be that anomaly.
Paul George to Batum. 5 seconds to shoot. George on the drive, but his shot misses. To Conley. They get it down to Mitchell. And look out. Big finish at the rim. Whoa, he got up there.
Just showing you that 40-inch vertical.
Clippers have the basketball. Jackson. Batum to George. Couldn't keep it in. Out off Paul George. Substitution being made in this one. Across the timeline, it's Conley. Up 5. Mitchell in a matchup with Boogie. To Gobert. Yes, and a foul. He'll have a chance at a three-point play.
He should get some kind of acting award. That's a great sell by the offensive player. But guess what? The refs bit, and that's the game.
Rudy Gobert trying to cash in on the three-point play. Shooting 50%. Some yes, some no in this contest. One free throw, count it. It's a three-point play, and the lead up to 8. Now Doc Rivers gonna call a timeout here. His guys have come out flat. Slow start in this first quarter. Jackson to Cousins. Old school. Backs his man down for the basket.
Old school equals high percentage.
Conley into the front court. Up 6. To Gobert. DeMarcus Cousins able to recover with the block.
Just incredible timing on that swat.
To Marcus Morris. Nothing going here on that drive. Here comes the screen. Cousins to Nick Batum. A lot of contact. Shots no good and no foul. Conley into the front court. Up by 6. Rudy Gobert. He's now 4 for 6.
The true measure of Rudy Gobert comes on the defensive end. He was all-NBA defensive first team and was tied for the lowest opponent field goal percentage at 43%. You ain't getting by that.
To Cousins. Shot clock, it's coming down to 4. Now down to 3. Here's Cousins. And the rebound comes to Conley. Across the timeline, it's Conley. His team on top by 8. A lot of contact, no whistle. Kennard to Marcus Morris. Knocked loose. Jazz pick it up. Shot's no good. You have to like the confidence, but that was a difficult shot. On the follow. Way to stay with it.
This comes down to great execution both on the offensive and defensive end of the floor. Let's see if they can carry this into the second quarter.
Jackson to Marcus Morris. Nothing going here on that drive. Keep on trying. Shot's no good there.
I agree. I thought there was a foul, but also it's all about your approach. You can't come down the lane and jump off one leg. It's called a power lift. Go off 2 legs and expect the contact.
Goes to the right side. To Gobert. And the rebound taken by the Clippers. Jackson with it. They find themselves down 10. Batum to Marcus Morris. They work it down to Cousins. Mitchell with it up top. Looking to make something happen. Conley defended by Cousins. They get it down to Gobert. Slams it down. Jay, they've had no answer for this guy.
He's been on fire this first quarter. That's the way you take it right to your opponent. You attack right out of the gate.
We have both squads set to make some moves right now. To Cousins. Going to launch beyond the arc. His first effort off the mark. Conley into the front court. The lead is 12. To Joe Ingles. Driving right to the basket. Mike Conley. First couple didn't go. That one is true.
I don't know if the scouting report has made its way out here yet, but if anything, it says you need to not let him get that close to the rim.
To Batum. Rondo. Won't go down. wide open look won't go.
The defense has to find a way to become mentally present in this ball game. Another open look, the offense is picking them apart.
Rudy Gobert snatching it out of the air.
Oh, he blocked that with authority.
Utah's got it. Conley down to Gobert. The pass taken away by the Clippers. Batum. Shot clock winding down. Batum to Beverly. 4-3. Shot no good. You know Beverly can appreciate good defense.
And look, sometimes you don't have it going every single night. Maybe utilize yourself as a decoy and get some teammates involved with your passing.
Conley. No good. Beverly into the front court. Trailing by 14. To Cousins. Rudy Gobert sends it away.
Just erasing mistakes left and right.
Nothing going here on that drive. To Conley. Mike Conley. 2 of 4 now.
As a player, there's nothing better than coming out in the first quarter and playing exactly the same way you played the last couple of days of practice. You're moving the ball, you're capitalizing on mistakes, and you really built a nice lead.
Rondo to the basket, but he can't finish.
And one of the most underrated things in this game is quick lateral speed. Good job by utilizing that speed and taking away the lane.
Jazz will take a timeout as they'll go over some tactics now in this first quarter of play. Both coaches dipping into their reserves. Changes coming onto the floor. Conley guarded by Patterson. Patrick Patterson tips it.
Don't stare him down like that afterwards.
Deep two there, won't go. Conley into the front court. Shot clock turned off as they get a chance to build their lead. Knocked loose. Jazz have it. Desperation shot here from half court. First quarter's complete. The Jazz in command of this one. Ed Cohen, Jay Williams with you as we get things started here in the second quarter. It's LA Clippers ball. George. Across the timeline, it's Conley. They lead it by 14. The jumper's off the mark. George knocks it down off the step back.
If you're coaching against this player, you have to throw some fake traps, some fake schemes. How are you making this player think instead of just naturally reacting?
Conley to Clarkson. The shot by Conley, no good. Rondo with the basketball. Down a dozen. Down the lane to lay it in.
No doubt about where that one was headed.
Conley into the front court. We're a minute into the second quarter. Has a chance. Shot misses there by Clarkson.
The most important thing a shooter can do is continue to shoot. The defense is always going to give great effort, but it's more of your psyche that goes into the next shot that will limit you on whether you make the shot or not.
Nice touch around the basket with the tip.
In the paint, you need to finish just like that.
Conley to Joe Ingles. Clarkson to Conley. Oh, ferocious slam inside. That has to feel deflating for the other side.
They've really came out and made a statement so far in this first half. Another powerful dunk, but another easy dunk. When are we going to see some defense?
Able to convert inside.
You feel that? I see the confidence building.
Utah with the possession. Here comes the screen. Conley to Favors. Nice pass to set things up.
Well, they have such great flow to their offense this evening. The ball isn't sticking to one player individually. It's moving around the perimeter, and it's zipping. They're playing with a special cohesiveness.
Beverly. Gets a look. Can't hit. Conley into the front court. Lead stands at 10. To Joe Ingles. Nothing going here on that drive. Joe Ingles to Conley. From long range, 24-second violation. Both teams tweaking their lineups. Here come some changes. Knocked loose. And the basket good at the rim.
You see, you can't actually get mesmerized by the ball. You actually have to focus on the dribbler's belly button. I know that may sound cheesy, but trust me, he can't go anywhere without his core.
Conley. To Favors. Count the basket at the rim.
Bodies bouncing all around on that layup with the offense winning that battle. But if the defense keeps up that kind of pressure, good things are bound to happen.
Utah ball. Conley. Surveys the floor. Bad pass there. Clippers have it. You've got to get that one to go. Across the timeline, it's Conley. His team leads it by 10. Mitchell can't connect. It's no good. Basket's good on the follow. Way to stay with it.
Contact on a drive can be a beautiful thing. Making those tough shots can really help you build a mental advantage over your defender.
Here comes the screen. Paul George. Nothing going here on that drive. To Paul George. The Clippers with 4 to shoot. From the outside, no good. George Niang matched up with Paul George. Mitchell. No good. That's great defense. Beverly into the front court. Down 12. George lets it fly. off the mark.
The contest was good, but you being a nuisance was great. Continue to be that gnat that no matter how many times you swing at it, it never goes away.
To Conley. The Jazz with 4 on the shot clock. Mitchell. Shot off the mark. Good defense. Beverly into the front court. He'll run the offense. George. Paul George. 3 for 8. He's got to do better.
And last year, it seemed like PG really had a difficult time finding that next level elite PG. No doubt about it. This year, he needs to be playoff P all day, every day.
To Conley. 5 to shoot for Utah. Has a look. Missed that one. You want to see more, knowing the defender was still right there. It's the Clippers with the possession now. George. Couldn't keep it in. Out off Paul George. Both coaches hitting the reset button. Fresh legs coming onto the floor. Conley. Nothing going here on that drive. No good, and no foul.
And you see so many players quit on a play after they were beat the first time, but not him. He stayed on his hip, he fought back, and he made the player miss the shot. That's great defense.
Mitchell sizing up Cousins. Fine to shoot. Shot for Mitchell won't go. Beverly into the front court, trailing by 10. Here comes the screen. Beverly to Reggie Jackson. Down to 5. Down to 4 to shoot. The shot by George won't go down.
I just love where this takes you into the psychological battle as a player offensively. Was that a great contest, or did you just miss the shot? But now you have me thinking about that the entire next possession.
Mitchell still hasn't hit from deep in the first half. No good. Beverly into the front court. They find themselves down 10. Finishing inside the paint on that one.
I love when I see smaller players finish in the paint amongst the trees. But if you're a big on the other side, you can't let that happen so easy.
Conley. Trying to cash in. Mitchell's shot, no good.
You know, Ed, everybody gives so much credit to the guy who contested the shot, but there's no way he's in that position without the communication of the backbone of the defense. When you have a guy back there who can block shots and tells you to apply more pressure, you know you're in a safe place.
Nothing going here on that drive. Jackson to Cousins. Patrick Beverly. He's 3 of 5. 60% shooting from the field.
I get tired of hearing guys say, I was there, I contested a shot, I pretty much had a hand in his face. Well, no, you have to change up the game. If a guy is right-handed, he is right eye dominant. Get that hand over his right eye, block his vision. That'll enhance his chances of missing the shot.
Shot from the lane won't go. Here comes the screen. Great defense there, forcing the pickup. Rudy Gobert sends it away.
Ed, that's light work for a guy with his ability.
George, textbook defense. Goes to the right side. To Conley. Down low for Gobert. Leaving no doubt. Slams it down. He was ready right at the tip.
What a first half he's having. He came out of the gate, attacked, found ways to get to the rim. Now look how easy the game is coming to him.
Time to adjust. Both coaches making changes on the floor. Jackson to George. Old school. Backs his man down for the basket. Mitchell with the basketball. Up 6. To Favors. Nothing going here on that drive. Can't connect. Paul George to Jackson. Has a chance. And the finish. Jay, that was unguardable.
It looks like he's using his ball handling to feel the game out. I know it looks like he's just playing around out there trying to get the fans going. That is true, but he's also finding his rhythm.
They've slowed down the pace. Now 3 on the shot clock. Has a look. Bojan Bogdanovic. Couple of free throws on the way. A career 86% from the line. And he connects on the first free throw.
Coming right back to you.
Number 10, Mike Conley. Subbing in for the Los Angeles.
Goes 2 for 2. George to Cousins. For 3, it's no good. Shots not going down. And the reward, he's going to the line.
There's a very fine line between maximum effort and carelessness. I'm willing to live with a few mistakes and maximum effort than having to constantly remind my players to close out.
Marcus Morris has got 2 shots coming. For his career, 73%. First one, count it. Can't connect on the second, and he splits the pair. Nikola Batum, 2 of 4 now.
That's lunch pail business right there. Don't worry about the no call. Keep powering through.
Conley into the front court. Under a minute to go before halftime. They get it down to Gobert. Oh, emphatic slam.
It's so amazing when you get a chance to see a player in his own space. It's almost as if the defense doesn't exist. He can go left, he can go right, he can attack. He's playing on that court by himself.
Cousins to Paul George. To Cousins. Lets it fly from long range. And DeMarcus Cousins buries the 3 with a hand in his face.
Ooh, welcome to the new reality. Positionless basketball. Bigs are now PGs with the ability to drain threes.
To Conley. Deep three at the buzzer. Jordan Clarkson is going to get 3 shots here for his career, 80% at the line. And hits the first free throw.
You know that's easy. They can't guard you.
That one won't go. One more to come. Late heave to beat the buzzer. That's it for the first half. The Jazz out in front.
Thanks, fellas. Jalen here with your halftime report. The Jazz will start the second half with a narrow lead. They decided to make a statement in the opening half, and they did it by throwing down dunk after dunk after dunk. I think the rim is still shaking. These are the guys getting buckets for the Utah Jazz. The Clippers are keeping things exciting in a close matchup. And even though they're losing, you don't see a lack of confidence from their shooters. That could be the difference for them in the second half. Have a look at the leading scorers for the Los Angeles Clippers.
Game track. Bench points.
The NBA season is long. And these days, starters take rest days. And that's why it's so important to have bench players that can be productive like we're seeing here today.
Player of the half.
Gobert did a remarkable job of swatting shot after shot. Scorers have got to be thinking twice when he's within range.
Who was cold?
Forget cold. This guy will be happy to be lukewarm at this point. He can't seem to get anything going. Here we go with the top plays from the first half.
Number 2. Number 1.
All right, back to the second half. I'll see you after the game.
LA Clippers with the basketball. Paul George to Cousins. Oh, had him going there for a second. Short jumper off the mark. To Conley. Here comes the screen. Conley against George. Short jumper stays out.
Cultures have communication. Great cultures have teammates that are willing to push you to limits that maybe you didn't even see that you had. But right now, there's no leader on this team. Everybody's just going their separate ways.
Gets it to go, and the foul.
So many times we get on a defender for quote-unquote letting the offensive player score on an and one. Sometimes there's a lucky bounce, but more often than not, it's the offensive player who makes the play happen despite the defender's best intentions.
DeMarcus Cousins at the line for a chance at a three-point play. For his career, 73%. The free throw is good. It's back to a one-point game. Conley in the front court. His guys lead here, early stages, third quarter. Nothing going here on that drive. Down to Gobert. The Jazz with 4 on the shot clock. Mitchell, he missed his first 4 from downtown. He finally gets a 3 to go.
I'm going to tell you what every shooter thinks after he misses 4 in a row. One has to go in eventually.
Jackson to Marcus Morris. To Reggie Jackson. On the shot clock. Jackson to Luke Kennard. Here's a chance from long range. That's what he does best. Kennard drills the 3.
Consistency wins a game. Sometimes you have to double down. I'm sure that's what their coach told them to do in the locker room. Keep shooting your shot.
Oh, ferocious slam inside.
For any fans out there that thought Donovan Mitchell didn't put any stock into the fact that he was not the Rookie of the Year, you are wrong. Donovan Mitchell is that type of guy that uses everything in his power to fuel him to be the best on the court each and every day. If that was a campaign he built with Adidas, rookie question mark, it doesn't matter. That perceived failure is something that will only make this kid better tomorrow.
Donovan Mitchell with the rock. Sizing up the defense. Nothing going here on that drive. Trying to cash in. Mitchell shot off the mark. He was smothered and still gets it to go down.
When the ball's in his hands, we all knew what was going to happen.
Across the timeline, it's Conley. His guys find themselves trailing by a bucket. Mitchell can't go down. Smothering defense.
Just because you're an elite shooter doesn't mean you need to shoot the ball every possession. Maybe give a head fake, crack into the defender, get to the free throw line, see the ball go in the hole.
Conley into the front court. His guys trail now by 4. Nothing going here on that drive. Doesn't have the touch. No good. Jackson with it. He'll run the offense. To Cousins. Deep 2 there. Won't go. Conley into the front court. Trailing by 4. Screen coming. Mitchell defended by Cousins. Lets it fly from beyond the arc. Well defended. Cashes in for 2.
And the true test of a team's character is how they respond when they get hit in the mouth. Keep digging.
Now whistle and a timeout for Utah as their coach wants to get a word in with his guys here in this third quarter. Shifting gears. Here come some substitutions. Conley. to Gobert. And watch him do the rest. Slam dunk.
If you didn't dunk that, then we would have to talk about it.
George to Cousins. With the fadeaway. Burns him for the basket. Across the timeline, it's Conley. The deficit is 6. Curling inside.
Oh! Out there looking like the Kimbe Mutombo.
Took it right to him, and the defender was ready. Jackson with it. Up by 6. To Marcus Morris. Batum to Cousins. Knocked loose. Jazz pick it up. With a drop step. Finger roll. Finishing with finesse.
There you go. Finally. Shoot your shot.
Paul George. Oh, not a good pass there as it's stolen by Utah.
You go back to the principles, things that we started working on when we were in first and second grade. It's called the shell drill. You stay down in the stance defensively, you try to deny the next pass away, and you have to communicate. If your conditioning is bad, you have no chance. But if you're able to do all these things together, collectively, you'll be able to stop a great passing team.
Rudy Gobert rejects it.
Just erasing mistakes left and right.
Marcus Morris with a piece. The opposing coach is going to counter, make some changes of his own. Finish that. Jackson with it. Leads a bucket. Fires the 3. Defense was ready. Reggie Jackson unable to hit. Conley into the front court. Looking to make something happen. Missed it. He always has the green light, but the defense was ready.
The most important thing a shooter can do is continue to shoot. The defense is always going to get great effort, but it's more of your psyche that goes into the next shot that will limit you on whether you make the shot or not.
And he converts on the free throw. Quinn Snyder changing the lineup at this juncture. George to Jackson. Has a chance. Reggie Jackson, not that time.
Let's be realistic. He's probably not going to miss a lot of shots. But the more effort you can give, you want to try to tire him out. Take his legs away. Make him work to catch the ball. That's how you win a defensive battle.
Five to shoot for Utah. Clarkson's shot, no good. Batum to George. Nothing going here on that drive. Down to 5 on the 24. It's George for 2. Clarkson with the basketball. His guys down 3. Conley matched up with Paul George. And he's fouled. Very close, Jay. Free throws coming up.
No, no, no. I'll tell you. The team that makes the little mistakes, like committing unnecessary reaching fouls like that, will be the team that ends up with the L.
First free throw is good. And he makes them both. Beverly into the front court. Leads just a point. PG lets it fly. The screen sets him up for two. Jay, when you break down Paul George, where is he at his best?
He needs to be engaged. He needs to have the ball in his hands. He needs to be needed. And that's the biggest thing for Paul George. When he's the guy offensively and he makes those clutch shots, it re-engages him defensively. And that drives him to be the best version of Paul George there is.
Scores from the post.
Woo, did you see that? Eyes to the rim, and the rest was all net.
Paul George to Beverly. George to Marcus Morris. LA with 4 to shoot. A good defense by the Jazz as they come away with it. Clarkson. Now ready to shoot at the line.
I've seen it happen so many times. Small things like that foul can end up becoming a momentum changer. Let's see how this one plays out.
Nope. First one does not go. Second one goes. It's a 1 of 2 trip. Clippers have the basketball. Can't connect from in close. Clarkson with the basketball. Our score all even in this third quarter. The drive right to the basket. Conley buries it on the catch and shoot.
Ed, let me tell you how this one goes. It ain't no fun if the homies can't have some. Everyone's getting a piece of the rock tonight.
Beverly to Paul George. The Clippers with 4 to shoot. Not that time. Conley into the front court. Up by 3. To Clarkson. The Jazz with 4 on the shot clock. Fires the 3. Not that time. He missed it. Down the lane, but the shot won't fall. Clarkson with the basketball. Leads 3. End to end on that one. 94 feet for the basket.
I'm sorry, his name is not John Wall or Russell Westbrook. So why is he getting a free pass down the entire length of the floor?
Paul George. Shot from the lane won't go. Across the timeline, it's Conley. Counting down toward a minute to play in this third quarter. Won't go. To Beverly. Short jumper off the mark. Clarkson with the basketball. Leads 5. Right down the lane, but the shot won't go. Beverly into the front court. His guys can get a 2 for 1 if they time this out. Hat-trick Beverly. 4 out of 7.
I get tired of hearing guys say, I was there, I contested a shot, I pretty much had a hand in his face. Well, no, you have to change up the game. If a guy is right-handed, he is right eye dominant. Get that hand over his right eye, block his vision. That'll enhance his chances of missing the shot.
Beverly into the front court. Shot clock off as they trail by 3. Perfect feed to set up the basket. Deep three at the buzzer. That ends the third quarter. Jazz have the lead. It's Utah basketball as we begin the fourth quarter, and you have to figure they like this spot they're in, entering the quarter with the lead on the road.
Yeah, but Ed, I disagree. As a player, I'm not really worried about how big the lead is right now. I'm worried about what kind of energy we're going to enter the fourth quarter with, more importantly.
And the two. Rudy Gobert cashes in.
This is where I go back into player mode. If a dude starts to try to have 40 points on me, I'm going to foul out. I'm going to start hitting him in places he's not used to being hit. I'm trying to do anything to throw him off his game.
Has a look. Off the mark. He loves the tough shots, but that one may be too tough. Jazz have the ball. Conley. Takes stock of the floor to Conley. Here comes the screen. Conley down low to Favors. Nice pace, sets it up and slams it down.
This type of game needs to be celebrated. This is the type of culture that is fostered when you play with unselfish players. When you give up a little bit of yourself and you make your teammate look great, that's the difference between winning and losing. So when you see these guys smiling, when you see them giving each other high fives, that's because of the energy that was created from the pass. Pass is one of the most brilliant things we have in this game.
Nick Batum forcing that one. No good. Conley into the front court. Up 5. The pass taken away by the Clippers.
Tonight, it may not cost you, but in a playoff game, it will.
To Nick Batum. Offensive board. To Favors. To Clarkson. Conley. Shot clock's at 5. Down to 4. Trying to cash in. Not done yet. Nice touch around the basket with the tip.
I love the drive to the basket there. Instead of trying to go around or over, go through.
Oh, the touch at the rim. Count it.
Because in certain players' mind, it doesn't matter if they're amongst the trees or not. They're always going to be the giant in the paint.
Conley guarded by Patterson. Out of bounds the call. Last touch by Nick Batum. It'll stay with Utah. Mixing things up. Hockey line substitutions. Both teams making changes.
Subbing in for Jazz, number 2.
Conley to Clarkson. Shot clock winding down. Beyond the arc for 3. Jordan Clarkson hounded. Shot off the mark. Kennard. Jordan Clarkson pins it.
Oh, he blocked that with authority.
It's Jazz ball. Clarkson to Joe Ingles. Probing the defense to Clarkson. Has a chance. Shot by Clarkson off the mark. Into the front court comes Rondo. The deficit now up to 5. To Batum. He's looking for that touch. Joe Ingles to Clarkson. To Joe Ingles. Shot misses there by Clarkson. Count the bucket for two.
I love when I see smaller players finish in the paint amongst the trees. But if you're a big on the other side, you can't let that happen so easy.
To Favors. Joe Ingles. Work it down to Favors. Gets a look. Can't hit.
And that's next level defense. The defender took away the pocket space of the shooter. Now, as a shooter, they shoot hundreds of shots each and every day from that pocket with consistency. Now you force them to change the angle or the positioning of that pocket, you're going to lower the chances of them making that shot.
Batum. LA with 4 to shoot. And the rebound comes down to Utah. Utah's got it. Conley to Joe Ingles. Probing the defense. Clarkson to Conley. Going to launch beyond the arc. Creates the space to bury the three on the step back.
Yeah, and what we're seeing is a brilliant offensive display. You have ball movement, player movement, and great shooting to top it off. You get those three things going, you're going to be a dynamic offensive unit.
New blood coming in for both sides. To the basket goes Jackson, but a shot won't fall.
That's superb defense. That's a defense getting there from the weak side early and making the player short arm the shot.
Plenty of contact. The shot no good. Kennard to Reggie Jackson. Jazz have it. Here comes the screen. Mitchell. Not that time. Kennard to Nick Batum. Whoa, what a finish.
You know, teams usually shoot higher percentages early in the shot clock. Plus, you take away the legs of the defense. You have to dictate the pace.
It's LA Clippers ball. George to Marcus Morris. To George. The Clippers with 4 to shoot. Paul George, 4-2. And the rebound taken in by Utah. Clarkson with the basketball. It's an 8-point lead. Bad pass there. Clippers have it. Runners good there. Mitchell with it up top. Up 6. Nothing going here on that drive. Five to shoot for Utah. To Gobert. And finishes strong.
I know there's that old saying that says one man can't beat five, but we're watching one man carry four other players. His back has to be hurting. Another big-time finish.
Paul George to Jackson. No, I missed a short one there.
One of the best-kept secrets in the game. Utilizing a head fake. Get the defender in the air. Crack into him. Don't give the refs any excuse not to call foul. I put that one on you. You went up a little bit lazy.
It's the Clippers with the possession now. Jackson to Batum. Surveys the floor. LA with 4 to shoot. Ref blows the whistle, and he calls a 5-second back to the basket violation. Some lineup changes now for both clubs. Mitchell matched up with Paul George. To Gobert. Slam dunk.
The true measure of Rudy Gobert comes on the defensive end. He was all-NBA defensive first team and was tied for the lowest opponent field goal percentage at 43%. You ain't getting by that.
Beverly to Paul George. Short jumper won't fall. Tough shot. Hand in his face. He makes them pay.
Did you see the way that dribble freed him up? It created so much space. I did, but the defender didn't.
Beverly. Conley into the front court. Lead is 12. Mike Conley. He's 5 for 10, shooting 50%.
Well, look, you can't be caught flat-footed on defense. You need to be on the balls of your feet, especially in transition. You have to jab at that guy with the ball, hedge at him. Make him think that maybe you will take him. Maybe you'll fan out to a defender on the perimeter, but still keep him guessing. But when you don't do that, that's easy money.
Kennard to George. Down to 5 on the 24. Beverly. Mitchell with the basketball. They lead it by 14. 4-3. Had made his first couple, but he misses there.
Great contest by the D, but I want to see the coaching staff call the same exact play the next possession. Get that offensive player the ball. Let him prove that it wasn't the D. It was more in his own head.
It's PG for 2. The screen sets him up for 2.
Bread and butter, and there are few that can do it better off the screen.
Oh, he had it. LA Clippers with the basketball. George to Beverly. Sizing up the defense to Luke Kennard. Screen coming. Lays it up and in.
In the paint, you need to finish just like that.
Across the timeline, it's Conley. The lead stands at 10. Nothing going here on that drive. Doesn't have the touch. No good.
That's how you do it. You keep riding him to the basket, and if the refs aren't calling it, keep being physical. Keep knocking him off balance.
It's the Jazz who come away with the victory as they win this one handily. For Jay Williams and all our crew, I'm Ed Cohen saying so long for now. This has been a presentation of the NBA on EA Sports.
Jalen Rose here, and I've got your EA Sports post-game wrap-up. The Jazz got the win in a nail-biter. When you're able to get steals like they did here today, it greatly improves your chances of winning. What you see here is how the majority of the points were scored. For the Utah Jazz, the Clippers lost a tight one today, and you can see the disappointment. They definitely put in the effort down low, but it ultimately wasn't enough to turn the tide in their favor. Check out the leading scores for the Los Angeles Clippers.
Game track. 3-point shooting.
Each of these teams were solid with their long-range shooting. So by extension, they were pretty poor with their perimeter defense. Closing out on shooters must always happen, whether you're tired or not.
Player of the game.
Gobert put up the kind of points that made him an easy choice for this award. He couldn't be stopped. And when he realized he was in the zone, he just took it to another level.
Who was cold?
This isn't the segment you want to be in, of course, but even the best players find their way into this part of the show. Here are the top plays from the game.
Number 2. Number 1.
On behalf of ESPN on EA Sports, I'm Jalen Rose. We look forward to seeing you again next time.
We come to you live on EA Sports, and it's a Windy City special in the booth. I'm Ed Cohen with the former Chicago Bull. It's Jay Williams.
And Ed, both squads are getting up last-minute shots. As a player, you never leave the court on a missed shot. A make shot always sets the right tone before the game.
All the work that's gone into this game about to be on full display here tonight. One by Utah. Conley. Here comes the screen. A drive to the basket, but it somehow stays out.
Yo, big kudos to the defender. It seems like the mere presence of him in the paint was enough to throw off the concentration of the guy trying to drop the layup in.
George to Reggie Jackson. George, his first effort, off the mark. Across the timeline, it's Conley. Looking to make something happen. And the nice finish at the rim.
That's what I'm talking about, Ed. It's that simple. Put the ball in the bucket.
Jackson with it. They trail by 2. Batum. Screen coming. Jackson to Nick Batum. Trying to cash in. Knocks it down. Off the step back.
Ooh, cool, calm, and collective. The 3 C's. His handles are effortless.
Utah with the possession. Conley to Gobert. Runner here won't go down. Jackson with it. He'll run the offense. Oh, good defense by the Jazz as they come away with the steal.
Pick up that sense of urgency. Here's a chance to break the tie.
Taking advantage of the turnover.
Woo, did you see that? Eyes to the rim, and the rest was all net.
Jackson with it. Down 2. To George. Almost. Unlucky bounce. Conley. Mitchell matched up with Paul George. Fires the 3, buries it on the catch and shoot.
I hope everyone here knows the golden rule. Guys, remember, sharing is caring.
Jackson with it. Down 5. Here comes the screen. Paul George to Batum. Has a chance. Nikola Batum. 2 for 3 now here in the first.
Ed, I'm telling you right now, that is the move of an assassin.
Conley into the front court. Up by 3. Here comes the screen. Conley. Down low, it's Mitchell. Throws it down.
And when you get your prescription, you take your medicine and you call it a day.
To Marcus Morris. George to Jackson. Here comes the screen. Jackson buries the 3.
And in today's game, you have to make shots like that. Nice work draining it from deep.
Mitchell with the basketball. 2-point advantage. To Conley. Bad pass there. Clippers have it. To Reggie Jackson. From the painted area, won't go down. Short jumper won't go down. Jackson with it. Down just a couple. To Luke Kennard. Down low for Jackson. Shot from the lane won't go. Donovan Mitchell with the rock. Short jumper off the mark. To Nick Batum. To Paul George. Clippers have got it. Paul George. Oh, good defense by the Jazz as they come away with it. Has a look. Mitchell's shot, no good. Utah ball. Bojan Bogdanovic against Paul George. Conley. Mitchell buries it.
Well, that change is inevitable. And one of the things that continues to fascinate me about this game, usually when you see a good three-point shooting team, their shoulders are square to the basket. That's no longer the case in today's game. These guys are off balance, they're moving different ways, yet they still have extreme shot-making ability.
Jackson to George. Here comes the screen. Nothing going here on that drive. Shot from in close, no good. Jackson with it. 5-point game. Knocked loose. Batum. Nothing going here on that drive. LA with 4 to shoot. It's PG for 2. Paul George missed his first. That one goes.
That's what happens when you don't force shots. They were patient, they used almost the entire shot clock, and at the end, they got a wide open look.
To Conley. Shot clock, it's coming down to 4. Now down to 3. Conley knocks it down from mid-range.
It looks like he's using his ball handling to feel the game out. I know it looks like he's just playing around out there trying to get the fans going. That is true, but he's also finding his rhythm.
Jackson to Paul George. From long range. Paul George can't get that one to go. Defense all over him.
And look, sometimes you don't have it going every single night. Maybe utilize yourself as a decoy and get some teammates involved with your passing.
It's LA Clippers ball to George. Takes stock of the floor. Paul George fires. Conley into the front court. His team up by 7. Mitchell on the drive, but he can't finish.
And one of the most underrated things in this game is quick lateral speed. Good job by utilizing that speed and taking away the lane.
Across the timeline, it's Conley. Lead stands at 7. Driving right to the basket, and he's fouled. Earns a trip to the foul line, Jay.
Guys like Gary Payton would always take ones early like this all the time. Number 1, to see if they'll get caught. And number 2, to leave a little mark on you to remind you that they'll be on you all game long.
Donovan Mitchell has got 2 shots coming. For his career, 80% at the line. Knocks down the first. and gets both to drop at the line. George to Beverly. They work it down to Cousins. Slams it down.
Another possession they were forced to take a tough shot. This time they got it to go, but they need to do something different to start creating more open look opportunities.
Slam dunk. They have set the tone in this one.
I love when I see offenses come out in beast mode. You attack that paint, you get to the rim, inevitably the floor will open up for you to knock down some threes.
Kennard to Paul George. Nothing going here on that drive. From the outside, no good. And Cousins is fouled. Boogie going to the line. He's going to shoot two.
You never really want to foul a shooter, but if you do, ensure they're going to have a tough time converting. That's good knowledge of personnel.
Off the mark on the first free throw. Missed the second one as well. Conley into the front court. It's a 9-point lead. To Favors. Slam dunk, Derek Favors.
As a player, there's nothing better than coming out in the first quarter and playing exactly the same way you played the last couple of days of practice. You're moving the ball, you're capitalizing on mistakes, and you really built a nice lead.
To George. Beverly's shot no good.
And that's how you make a difference. Every shot that the offense takes, make sure that it has a 10 as far as degree of difficulty.
Good. Off a spin.
Well, when you play for each other and not just for yourself, that's when great things happen. You essentially lose yourself in what the team is trying to accomplish. It's called unselfish basketball. And there's nothing more beautiful than rewarding your teammate with a nice pass and letting them finish for 2 or 3 points.
Much needed bucket right there with the three. This game, long way to go. They're back within 10.
This isn't going to be a rollover game. That's the kind of facial expressions you need from somebody who's ready to fight.
Conley. No, great defense there, forcing the pickup. Mitchell had made his first couple, but he misses there. Cousins to Beverly. Off the mark. Nice touch around the basket with the tip.
The defense is doing such a good job of denying him the ball and really getting in his pocket, but he got that one to go.
To Conley. Five to shoot for Utah. Trying to cash in. Add 2 points to the board.
That was a tough shot. The guy was in your pocket. He even contested the shot. Everything was going according to plan until then.
Clippers have the basketball. Oh, they called the foul, Jay.
His timing was a tad bit off.
Both coaches dipping into their reserves. Changes coming onto the floor.
First foul in the final 2 minutes. Substitutions, Utah. Clap, clap, clap your hands.
And a chance coming up at the line.
That's actually not a bad move at all. You're applying more pressure on him by sending him to the line.
Ivica Zubac, couple of free throws on the way. 71% for his career. First one goes down. Two for two on that trip. First quarter's complete. The Jazz out in front. Ed Cohen, Jay Williams with you as we get things started here in the second quarter. It's the Clippers with the possession now to Batum. And the reward, a couple of shots at the line.
Love the fact that the shooter created contact on the upward motion to shoot the basketball. Big time play.
First free throw is good. Able to convert on both free throws. Conley into the front court. Up 6. To Joe Ingles. Five on the shot clock. Can't connect.
The most important thing a shooter can do is continue to shoot. The defense is always going to give great effort, but it's more of your psyche that goes into the next shot that will limit you on whether you make the shot or not.
Across the timeline, it's Conley. Up by 6. Down low to Favors. Nice pass to get things going.
He's been doing this for years. The physicality in which he plays, no one wants to see that. You're going to leave the game with black and blue marks all over your body.
Tight space with the crossover. To Beverly. The Clippers with 4 to shoot. Beverly. Shot off the mark. Good defense. Conley into the front court. It's an 8-point lead. To Joe Ingles. Shot clock winding down. Has a chance. And it's Beverly there to grab the rebound. To Nick Batum. Nicola Batum. That's 3 now on 4 shots.
No doubt about where that one was headed.
Conley into the front court. He'll run the offense. Joe Ingles to Conley. Here's the step back.
Clearly not afraid of the spotlight here because that was not an easy look.
LA Clippers with the basketball. To Beverly. Probing the defense. Here comes the screen. To Beverly. Gets it in the left corner. LA with 4 to shoot. Beverly. That's off the side of the rim. No good.
Great contest by the D, but I want to see the coaching staff call the same exact play the next possession. Get that offensive player the ball. Let him prove that it wasn't the D. It was more in his own head.
Cousins. The Clippers with 4 to shoot. To Batum. Lets it fly from long range. Nick Batum forcing that one. No good. Utah's got it. Conley. And he's going to the line to shoot.
I say this a lot, and it's only because coaches harp on it all the time. Read the scouting report. Know who you can and should send to the line. This is a case of knowing a shooter probably had a better chance of hitting a jumper than he does of hitting the free throws.
First one, count it. Good free throw shooting. Knocks down a pair. Across the timeline, it's Conley. Looking to make something happen. Screen coming. The Jazz with 4 in the shot clock. Deep two there, won't go.
I love when I see a good contest. You're crowding the player's landing space, which naturally makes him worrisome about turning an ankle on that landing.
Nothing going here on that drive. Beverly to Cousins. Can't connect from in close. Clarkson to Conley. Stuffs it down with authority. That has to feel deflating for the other side.
They've really came out and made a statement so far in this first half. Another powerful dunk, but another easy dunk. When are we going to see some defense?
Cousins. And he scores. Jay, how do you stop that?
Might have had an extra dribble or two there, but he got the shot he wanted.
Jazz have the ball. Conley to Joe Ingles. To Clarkson. Nothing going here on that drive. Has a look. Not today.
The contest was good, but you being a nuisance was great. Continue to be that gnat that no matter how many times you swing at it, it never goes away.
Batum, down low boogie. Shot from in close, no good. Conley, work it down to Favors. Knocked loose. Nothing going here on that drive. Favors in a matchup with Boogie. Deep left corner. 5 to shoot for Utah. To Clarkson. Conley. Can't go down. Smothering defense. Here's Rondo with it. Now down 6. Beverly to Nick Batum. And the rebound taken in by Utah. It's Jazz ball. Conley. Pulled down by Batum. Oh, not a good pass there as it's stolen by Utah.
That's called game plan execution to perfection. Every possession on the road is critical.
To Favors. Short jumper won't go down. Rondo with the basketball. Down 6. Jordan Clarkson with a piece.
Oh, he blocked that with authority.
Clarkson to Conley. Beyond the arc for 3. Knocks it down and the foul. And a chance now at a 4-point play.
Oh, that was a big-time shot. But more impressive than the shot, the bench reactions. I love the celebration tactics. This is why you love this game.
Joe Ingles with a chance at a 4-point play. For his career, 76% from the line. And he hits. It's LA Clippers ball. Jackson to Cousins. Cleans it up. Rudy Gobert knocked away. It's getting dangerous down there.
Ed, I hated getting my shot blocked like that, but I did like getting the ball right back.
Looks like some substitutions are coming on in. Ah, missed it. How'd that not go down? To Conley. Great defense there, forcing the pickup. Gets it in the right corner. Clarkson. To Conley. Down to 5 on the 24. Fires the 3. Second effort. Oh, working hard there. Collects the rebound and gets it back up for the slam.
How about right after the dunk, he looks right over towards the bench, gets a call from the coach about what defense they're in, and then gets his team set. Those are people that are able to lead men.
Finishing inside the paint on that one.
You normally don't see that, but that's the type of thing that keeps shooters in the league for a long time. Every once in a while, they venture into the paint.
Conley. Going to launch beyond the arc. Cleans you up and a putback slam.
Woo, that's nasty right there.
Clippers have the basketball. Paul George to Marcus Morris. Pass to Cousins, down low. Had a good look there, but it's no good. To Conley. To Paul George. And finishes strong.
And when you get your prescription, you take your medicine and you call it a day.
Conley into the front court. His team leads it by 10. To Clarkson. Leaving no doubt. Slams it down.
Well, they have such great flow to their offense this evening. The ball isn't sticking to one player individually. It's moving around the perimeter, and it's zipping. They're playing with a special cohesiveness.
George to Jackson. Ah, rocking the rim.
If you didn't dunk that, then we would have to talk about it.
Conley into the front court. Lead stands at 10. To Gobert. Even to Zubats. Tips it.
Just erasing mistakes left and right.
Rudy Gobert. He's now 4 for 6. Now the Clippers call a timeout as they'll take a moment to go over things here in the second quarter. Time to adjust. Both coaches making changes on the floor. Reggie Jackson, not that time. Just what you like to see off the pick and roll. Nice, easy basket. He was ready right at the tip.
What a first half he's having. He came out of the gate, attacked, found ways to get to the rim. Now look how easy the game is coming to him.
Jackson to George. They've slowed down the pace. Now 3 on the shot clock. Paul George to Luke Kennard. Lets it fly from beyond the arc. That's what he does best. Kennard drills the 3.
And that's what this game is. As the game plays, you have to adjust on the fly. That delivers the element of surprise.
To Favors. Shot by Bogdanovich, no good. It's the Clippers with the possession now. Jackson to Paul George. Paul George, tough shooting. Only 2 for 6 after that make.
Attack mode isn't a switch that you can just turn on and off. He needs to do more of that. We need to see him penetrate, get into that lane, and create.
Scores from the post. Deep 3 at the buzzer. That's it. First half has come to an end. A nice advantage so far for the Jazz.
Thanks, fellas. Jalen here with your halftime report. The Jazz put together a nice half and were rewarded with a solid lead. They decided to make a statement in the opening half, and they did it by throwing down dunk after dunk after dunk. I think the rim is still shaking. Have a look at the leading scorers. For the Utah Jazz, the Clippers were unable to find an offensive flow in the opening half. They've been scrappy, doing their best to be competitive. We'll see if their efforts are more rewarded in the second half. These are the guys getting buckets for the Los Angeles Clippers.
Game track. Assists.
The Los Angeles Clippers struggled to play the angles and allowed too many passing lanes to exist. However, some credit has to go to their opponents for the way they move the ball. They've been taking advantage of this situation.
Player of the half.
Mike Conley did a great job of reading the defense and exploiting the opportunities where he can make the most damage. He's definitely feeling it.
Who was cold?
Every player that makes it to the NBA is a great athlete, but even the best players have off nights. Today has just been one of those nights for this guy. We got our top 3 plays for you. Check them out.
Number 2. Number 1.
Fellas, back to you.
First half, very one-sided. What will the second half bring? We'll find out as we're underway. LA Clippers with the basketball. Jackson. Batum to George. Oh, good defense by the Jazz as they come away with the steal.
Here's your chance to break this thing wide open.
Bojan Bogdanovic against George. Not done yet. Another shot won't go either. Another follow, still no good.
When I hear these excuses after games, when coaches are at the podium saying, it's hard for us to find our energy back, we couldn't find our aggression back, I wonder whose fault that is, Coach.
Across the timeline, it's Conley. His guys lead here, early stages, third quarter. Here comes the screen. Here's a chance from long range. Buries it on the catch and shoot.
Great shot by the offense. But the defense, you can't afford to collapse off that penetration. I'd rather a team take a tough 2 than a wide open 3.
Jackson to Batum.
Hey, watch this screen left.
A drive to the basket, but the shot won't go down. Another follow. No good.
Well, you can't finish with your right hand on the left side of the rim. You actually have to use your opposite hand. Steve Nash is one of the best at this. Different shots at different angles, high off the glass, expecting that there are trees down below with long wingspans that can block your shot.
Oh, you could sense that coming.
There is a premium market for players with that type of hand-eye coordination.
Conley. The pass taken away by the Clippers.
You go back to the principles, things that we started working on when we were in first and second grade. It's called the shell drill. You stay down in the stance defensively, you try to deny the next pass away, and you have to communicate. If your conditioning is bad, you have no chance. But if you're able to do all these things together, collectively, you will be able to stop a great passing team.
To Paul George. Utah with the possession. Down to Gobert. He's going to the free throw line to shoot.
Great job, Ed, by the shooter to create contact after the jump. That's how you get to the free throw line.
Rudy Gobert at the line for 2 shots. Not the best career mark, 62%. Oops, he missed the first one. No good. Missed them both. Jackson with it. The deficit now up to 12. And now he's going to shoot a few more as he's fouled going up for it.
Aggressive play there, but you can't fault the defender for being up in the shooter. You need to contest shots each and every one of them.
And hits the first free throw. And he makes them both. It's LA Clippers ball.
I got ball, I got ball. Got something for him. Coming left.
Reggie Jackson. He struggled just a little bit. 2 for 5.
Oh, don't see the read. Be the read.
Mitchell with it up top. Up a dozen. To Conley. Nothing going here on that drive. Not that time.
And it's written all over his body language. I mean, he looks frustrated, vexed, perplexed, whatever other word you want to throw at it with the X. But seriously, that body language, that's something he needs to work on.
Conley into the front court. Looking to make something happen. Mike Conley, now 3 for 9.
I don't know if the scouting report has made its way out here yet, but if anything, it says you need to not let him get that close to the rim.
George to Marcus Morris. Old school. Backs his man down for the basket.
Old school equals high percentage.
Conley into the front court. He'll run the offense. Gobert to Conley. Mitchell. The shot, almost.
And even his easy shots look difficult. It seems like the defense has completely disrupted his game. The bumping and pushing him is really throwing him off.
Short jumper, won't fall. Reggie Jackson, 4 out of 7.
Look, there was barely any contact on that last play. I agree with the ref's no call. Let him play.
The screen sets him up for 2.
Bread and butter. And there are few that can do it better off the screen.
Clippers have the basketball. Jackson to Marcus Morris. Paul George. Nothing going here on that drive. To Conley. Trying to cash in. Mitchell shot off the mark.
And if I'm on the defensive end, this is where I apply more pressure. I want to make sure this guy does not get going in the second half.
No good. And that's rebounded by the Jazz. Conley. Whoa! What a finish! Whoa!